I'm back, like I said I would be. I don't know what I do. I don't know what I do with my glasses. I don't really need them when I'm looking at the screen, but it's a lot easier to read the chat if I have them on. I don't know where I put them. I thought they were here. There they are. We're back. But first things first. Unfortunately, we have to play the ads. But fortunately, I got my BRB screen going. I realized that I like deleted OBS off my laptop when everything got deleted, and I never recreated a BRB screen, and that's why I couldn't figure out where it went and how to do it because it wasn't there. But now it's very convenient. So we're gonna play some ads, and we'll be back in 3 minutes. There we go. Okay. Ooh, don't touch it. All right, what's crack a lacking? Fellas? Lighting a candle. Lighting some incense. Hello. Okay. My mic cord is very finicky. The mic is fine, but the cord is not fine. And I need to get a new one. I do. I need to get a new one. Because it's been ridiculous today when I was streaming earlier. Oh my god. It was like just cutting in and out so much, even if you didn't touch it or anything. And then it would cut back on, even without messing with it. So it was really weird. But anyway, earlier today I did a stream and I used the Thoth deck. And it was very specific. It was not necessarily a good reading. Okay, it's back. See what I mean? Nothing changed, nothing happened, it just cut out. I am keeping a pretty close eye on it because I know I have to pay attention to it, so I've been paying attention to it, but sure is annoying. So, anyway, did the Thoth deck or will work? Hello. For some reason, the desktop audio doesn't work, which is weird because it's literally built into the computer. So, like, why wouldn't it work? I don't know. Really weird. So we just got the finicky mic. Anyway, I wonder. Maybe I do know how to use the desktop audio. I don't know how it sounds though. Like I know the camera quality is really not that bad. I think it's because I got so many lights on. Where it's not bad for being a built-in camera because my webcam died. But I don't know how the audio is. I feel like people have complained about it in the past when I haven't used my mic. But we'll see. We'll see. Obsessed with this mug, by the way. Hello, hello. Okay, it's back on. So annoying. So earlier today, I used the Thoth deck. Last night, I used my Samhain deck for the first time ever. And then the night before, I used my initiation cards, which I was talking about how I didn't have them for almost 2 years. So I was really excited to get those back. I don't know what deck to use tonight. I don't think anyone's going to tell me what they want. Always big shout out to my lurkers. Thanks for lurking. I'm not really sure. It seemed like the reading earlier had aspects of love to it, or lack thereof. So maybe a good follow-up would be the pink deck. But I'm not necessarily in the mood for the pink deck. I have the mystery deck, which kind of seems like a little too much to do right now. And then I also have the Halloween Oracle. So it's kind of one of those three. I think I would prefer to use the Halloween deck. But I also think the pink deck might be the one. Kind of I don't know. Because we talked about the love aspect of things earlier, more specifically heartbreak, it almost feels like maybe we don't need to cover more love, but also it might be kind of a nice touch. let's do Pink Deck and Halloween Oracle. I'll do fucking both. And then maybe tomorrow, so I won't be streaming tomorrow night. I just pulled out the mystery deck instead of sign. I don't know, the mystery deck is just probably, I don't want to say the most exhausting, but it is kind of a more intense deck. So I'm not sure that I want to do that right now. I will not be streaming tomorrow night. I will not be streaming the night after. So I might try to fit in earlier streams like I did tonight, even if it ends up being after 6 o'clock. Again, I wanted to do an earlier stream today, but I was just kind of like on the phone all day. So maybe tomorrow we'll get our afternoon stream in. I don't know, or it'll be evening, but I definitely am not going to stream this late tomorrow. I gotta get up early the next couple days, so we will not be staying up late. That being said, I'm thinking we'll use the mystery deck tomorrow when we do our early stream so that I have the energy for it. And then I guess that will be all the decks. So if I end up okay, then we can kind of recycle some of the decks. Because like I said the other day, I don't have all my decks. I just have the ones I bring to work. So maybe we'll do mixed bag if I stream Thursday. And then I think if I'm not super exhausted Friday night, I'll probably stream Friday night. And then that'll be it for the week, unless I do a daytime stream on Saturday. I feel like the daytime stream was okay. One of my friends showed up, Twitch friend, so that was nice, but it was not poppin' like a night stream. However, I think starting this late, it's also not poppin'. So I gotta get back to my happy medium. I feel like when I used to start the stream between 10 and 12 was the best time to stream. I've been starting super late this week, so it just keeps getting later and later that I start the stream, and I'm always like, I'm gonna start earlier, I never do. So yeah, we'll save the mystery deck for tomorrow, and tonight we'll use the Halloween Oracle and the pink deck. I'm gonna start with the pink deck, I think, and then do the Halloween Oracle. So we can kind of get the story and then get the shadow of the story. Just set that there, and we'll get started. So think about what you want to know about. any words to that song. Is that what he's saying? Till it's over? Oh, you're gonna carry that weight. Carry that weight. Okay. We'll honor it. We will honor it. Okay. Bottom of the deck is the Ace of Wands. Getting a grip on your emotions. That is going to be fucking crucial right now. Like I said earlier, the reading seemed to have a lot to do with a breakup or a change in a relationship status. And it was not for the best. So I feel like this more than likely is kind of playing off of that, where we just have to kind of get it together at this point. And get a handle on things for sure. So I have this face down sideways pile. I read reversals as the opposite of what the card is. Upright is what it is. Downright opposite. Sideways, neither. Hello, hello. So when I see a pile like this, it's kind of indecision, undecided. Oh, hello. When the cards are face down, it's kind of what needs to be addressed, what needs to come to surface. So this is a pretty decent pile that we got going on. Face down sideways. Ace of Swords. There is something you don't know or something you are in denial of. You might have a suspicion of something, but you don't have confirmation of it. And you need to explore that a little more. You need to kind of figure out the truth and not disregard it entirely, but also not make assumptions. Very in the middle, not happy, but not miserable. So feeling very neutral right now. Oops, I flipped these both. We got the Star and the Tower. So the Star could be an Aquarius that like didn't leave but isn't present. But the Star is also kind of a surprise, right? And focusing on yourself. So when we think of it as the surprise aspect, this is something that did not come as a surprise, but also was not expected, right? You're like, I could have seen this coming. I should have known. And yet here I am, experiencing it as if I wasn't prepared. The Tower being on its side, probably a good thing. Things definitely aren't coming together, but they're not falling apart. So I think that's okay. So it could even be that this lack of surprise is like, oh, I'm okay, as expected. Not good, but not bad. I am okay. We got the Queen of Swords. So some resolution to conflict, especially if you're dealing with a feminine. There is somewhat of a resolution to whatever the fighting was. It's slowed down a lot. and isn't as intense, but it isn't fully resolved either, right? It's just like less conflict, not no conflict. Ace of Pentacles. This is what the reading was a lot about earlier. How um, going through something financially, most likely because of a breakup. That was a big thing, like becoming independent and not quite being able to be independent and being in that weird in between space of like not having the help you once had and not being able to fully afford your newfound single or solitary life. So you're not in dire straits necessarily, but not in a good position either. Okay, got these two. We got the Emperor and the Chariot. You like to be told what to do. No one's telling you what to do. You're not anti-authority necessarily. I mean, you might be anti-authority in the big picture, but not when it comes to like another person. You are like, damn, no one else is in charge of me. I'm in charge of myself. So that's really difficult. And it's made things more difficult. You're still moving forward, but not in the same way and not with the same help. King of Wands. The passion has dwindled. The passion has dwindled. You don't feel like being Captain Sabaho. You haven't completely given up on the situation, but you have. Okay, sorry. This is what needs to come to surface. So what you need to address is that even though you haven't fully given up on the situation, you have to stop putting effort into it. So you can hope and dream and wish, but you can't necessarily show it. You need to dial it back a bit and kind of. Hello. Okay. Keep your cards close to your chest. Knight of Pentacles. Again, it's this the biggest issue with this like supposed breakup is the financial loss, which sounds shitty and shallow, but it is what it is. We live in really difficult economic times, and it's obviously much easier to have a two-income household than to have a single-income household. It is what it is. It's nobody's fault. It's not like, oh, strictly because you didn't prepare for this, right? Like, sure, you could have probably saved a little more money and cut back on your spending and budgeted better. But you can't like dwell on that either. You have to just accept where you're at and accept that no one's really coming to save you at this point. I feel like you have to reckon with the fact that just because you didn't get kicked out doesn't mean that you are welcome, right? Do not take that as the wrong meaning, you know? Just because you didn't get kicked out does not mean you're welcome. You have to face that truth as well, where it's like, okay, I didn't get thrown out on the street, but I also shouldn't stay here. You gotta realize that. You can't be telling yourself, like, oh, well, I'm still here, so obviously they still like me, want me, need me. Not true. They just have a conscience and they're empathetic and they are sympathizing with you. And that's about it. It's not that deep. They're just not a bad person, despite what you're going through. We have the Queen of Pentacles, and the Hierophant. So I am sensing some disappointment. I don't know if maybe this breakup is a divorce, potentially. And that's why it has such devastating consequences of like so much financial turmoil and such an intertwined kind of life that you had together. It doesn't have to be a divorce, but the reason I brought that up is because we have the Hierophant, and the Hierophant is very traditional and wants to do kind of what they're told and live in a way that honors the past. And that's what made me think of marriage and divorce, because a lot of people want to stay in a marriage that they might know they shouldn't be in, simply to avoid divorce, whether they think it's a sin or they think it's modern. There is some tradition that this person is turning their back on, and it is costly. That's why I feel like the finances are coming up so much. If it makes more sense as a divorce, because a breakup does hurt financially, but it's like you don't pay alimony in a breakup. You know what I mean? So it just seems like bigger than a breakup. Um, there is some inaction right now. You know not to fight or fight for it. But again, going back to what we said earlier, you haven't fully given up. So you're very much caught in between. And as much as you want to let your guard down, you kind of know you shouldn't. Because again, you might still be living with this person and taking it the wrong way. So I wouldn't let your guard down completely. I wouldn't be. It sounds bad because I think honesty is the best policy, and I pride myself on being an honest man. But I am learning how lying can be important. That's something I've learned in the past years. Like, you know what? Sometimes it is better to lie. And it's funny, I think it was James Baldwin did an interview with, I'm assuming, like his wife or something. And he was saying, like, don't lie to me and I won't lie to you or something. And the woman was like, no, I need you to lie to me. I need you to pretend like you're happy to see me even if you had a bad day. Like, I don't want to be the one who gets all your honesty after you faked it for everyone else and gave them your best self. I also need your best self even when you're not feeling like it. Something to that effect. So it's kind of one of those situations where you have to just keep kind of pretending that things are okay the way they are, um, and not get too vulnerable or put too much weight into it. Um, I I don't usually read the discs as strictly finances when I'm doing a love reading, but because there is so much money issues tied into these readings that I've done today, I do feel like this might be an indication that things will get better. Um, you might have a discussion about money and how to move forward and what you're going to do in that regard, or you'll find it somewhere else. But these people are having a conversation. So the situation will ultimately improve. The Queen of Wands is very emotionally mature. Not that she isn't mature in other ways, but it's very specific to being emotionally mature. So she's doing okay. And maybe you don't want to hear that. Maybe you are her and you didn't expect to be okay. But she's handling it really well. Whether you're the she or the other person's the she, she's handling it well. So that might be difficult, even if it is you, because you're like, damn, I thought I would be a little more upset. I thought this would disappoint me. But actually, I'm okay. I'm handling this. And I ain't that worried about nothing. Just saying. Um, I see the Three of Cups as a celebration. In my Thoth deck, it's representing abundance, and they're they're having fun. They're jovial, you know. I think it's a celebration. So I think that this femme person is maybe I don't know why I just had this hanging on the desk, and I picked it up, and there's no stone in it. I gotta put a stone in that. Maybe indicating kind of okay, it's back. Trying to have fun despite it all. I will also say, which it did come up in the reading earlier, that some people associate this card with a third party energy. So there might be another person in the picture, and that is the fuel to keep this femme going, you know? Again, I see it more as celebration and happiness and abundance, but some people do read that as a third party energy. I don't know if it's just because there's three people. To me, it doesn't give that at all, but I just say it because it did come up in the reading earlier. We did discuss a cheating situation, so there might be another person. You cannot let this keep you up at night. You cannot let this keep you up at night. First of all, you need to get your sleep. Second, you don't want to overthink the situation. You don't want to put so much stock into it. You really have to like curb the thoughts and deal with it, especially during the day. Like deal with it daytime and kind of oh hello. You have to um, face it and address it while it's happening instead of shutting down. At this point, it's keeping you up at night, and that's not healthy. It's not healthy. Future card. Anything that falls off the table, I consider a future card. So when I saw this is when I started singing the Beatles song. Boy, you're gonna carry that weight till it's over. I see the situation doesn't completely emotionally burden you or bog you down too much, but it will take time before you let it go entirely. If there was cheating involved, that can cause a lot of trust issues. If it did ruin you financially, that can cause a lot of setbacks. So there are things that will follow you beyond the breakup, and it will be difficult to let go of. You know, like it will be hard, but you'll get it back. You'll get it back, and things will be more or less right in the world. You know, I'm just noticing how off-centered my border is. It's funny because a lot of stuff like Instagram, maybe it's not a lot of stuff, I can't think of any other examples. Instagram, when you're moving something, it has the grid up and down to show you where center is. Of an image or whatever you're moving, and I just try to get it as even as possible, but now I'm realizing it's not even, and that must not be what it means. I'm gonna have to fix that. I don't know, it looks okay. Maybe I shouldn't try to center it. Maybe that's the whole point, is that it'll just be off center no matter how badly I try to center it. Maybe we should leave it. I don't know. It's not bothering me as much as something like that normally would. But again, it might just be because I know I'll never get it perfect. And neither will you. So, yeah. Maybe it is a good thing I used this deck for whoever that reading was for earlier. I don't know why this song just popped in my head. Maybe someone on here was a churchgoer. I did just see this baby picture of me. I'll show y'all. I think this is me. Yeah. Pretty damn cute. Me as a newborn. And I saw that. And I thought, wow, we were all babies. It's so cute. Because if you know any babies, it's like, wow, that was me being the most joyful person in the room, being so loved, being cared for and looked after. Hopefully, you know, and I know that's not everyone's experience. And if that wasn't your experience, I'm sorry for even bringing it up. But it's so damn cute. And recently I was with someone and they were like, you know, you really don't get that much time to be a kid. It's kind of fucked up. You know, you're only a kid from the time you're born until you're 16, and then the rest of your life you're an adult. So real. So real. And I honestly, like, I will always consider teens to be teens. I do not give a fuck about the law. I do not give a fuck if you can get, well, it sucks. I don't think anyone should be drafted. I don't think anyone should be in the military. I don't think there should be war. I saw a reel of some woman saying that, and I was like, this is the best. This is amazing. I absolutely love what she's saying. She makes a very good point. Hello, okay. That really sucks. And that's like the whole thing of it, right? Is that legally, up until I think the 70s, maybe the 60s, probably whenever Vietnam was, I'm guessing, they needed more bodies for Vietnam because they absolutely slaughtered us. And good for them. Good for them. Not good. Okay, that sounded cruel. That sounded cruel and unkind. A lot of young men who didn't even want to be there had to die for this country, who lost very badly that war. And they just did not know when the fuck to stop. It was so wrong. It was so wrong. Like, what are you doing? You're getting annihilated and you just keep sending more kids out there to die. So I'm guessing it was Vietnam, but in the 70s they changed the age of a legal adult from 21 to 18 so that they could draft more people. And that's really fucked up. Kids deserve to be kids until they're at least 20. You're literally going to call them a teenager and an adult in the same breath? 18-year-olds are legal adults. Do you know how crazy that sounds? Do you hear how crazy that sounds? A literal teenager. Come on. Let the kids be kids, dude. Let the kids be kids. You know? Let the kids be kids. Especially because there's just so many fucking creepy people. Like, finally legal, barely legal, jailbait. It's disgusting. It's just so gross. It's like they're not even fully developed. They have no idea what the world is really like. They have been living in their own bubble of childhood and neighborhood and education, right? They don't even stand a chance against these predators. Oh, well, they were an adult, so they should have known what they were doing. And yet they didn't, which is why they shouldn't be adults. Straight up. You can't get into the bar. You can't buy a drink. Shit, at this point, you can't even buy tobacco products until you're 21. Why is that? Why is that? Probably because they're not real fucking adults. That's crazy. They can still go to war, though. Can't have a fucking cigarette, but you can go to war? Beyond fucked up. Beyond fucked up. Beyond fucked up. And I feel for the kids who are even younger than that, who are put in the position where they become child soldiers or are afflicted with war, even if they're not fighting in it, they become casualties of war. It's very sad and it's very wrong. It's very wrong. Um, so try to connect with your younger self. Tell them you understand where they were coming from, even if they didn't. Because we can be very impulsive and sometimes unkind, and we grow so much in such spurts where we're kids until we hit puberty, right? And then our brains change and our priorities change. But then we get a little beyond that, you know, and we change again and we get new experience and we have a different life. And we just have these spurts, you know. You get to be 12 and all of a sudden you're like, life sucks. Yeah, you don't even know the half of it. But then you get a little older and you're like, this is fun. I love having a semblance of autonomy, right? You don't make very good decisions because you're not really fully developed yet. But then you go through more changes and you're like, wow, I'm an adult now. I'm grown. And 10 years later, you realize how damn grown you were not. How young, how childish and stupid, you know? I'm just saying. Try to connect. It's not about your inner child. It's just about the child you were. It's not, it's, you know what I'm saying? It's like not your inner child. It's who you are. A bundle of joy. A loved and cared for creature. Connect to that feeling. Remember who you are. How you started, how you got here. Look at yourself with grace and be forgiving. Be forgiving of what you've done because you would never hold those things against that person, that little baby. You were just a baby. You were just a baby. right? So don't be too hard on yourself. That's who you are. Not to infantilize anyone or make excuses for people, because some people are just fucking evil, dude. Nosferatu, that motherfucker. The fuck? Some of the people in our own Gloria, if you recall who Gloria is. It's, some people really are evil, and it's hard to imagine that they were once babies too. And I'm not saying we should have sympathy for those people, but it sure is a trip to try to imagine them as innocent once upon a time. And it makes you wonder what the fuck did happen along the way that they were unable to forgive themselves for, and got deeper into shame and deeper into aggression and deeper into hatred. Were you not loved? Because as far as I've ever seen, everyone loves babies. Not everyone likes kids, you know? And I guess not everyone likes babies. You know what I mean? Some people are haters and they're like, oh, babies cry and they're throwing away and all they do is poop and throw up. But when you are presented with one, it's, oh, so cute, so precious, doesn't talk back. I think that's a big thing that people say a lot, that they joke about. Oh, can't talk back. Just wait till they talk back. That's what, like, experienced parents say to new parents. Wait till they talk back. I am gonna wait, actually. I'm gonna appreciate the silence. Jeez. Anyway, it's also exciting when they talk and become cognizant, right? Anyway, I've been rambling about this for a while. I want you to be sweet to yourself, and I want you to be soft with yourself. And I just want you to remember. Oh, hello, hello. Okay, it's back. Especially if you do get the chance to be around a baby. When you see that baby and you interact with that baby, remind yourself, like, that was me. That was me. It just totally shifts the perspective. Like, I was once held. I once cried. I once didn't know anything about the world. I once needed nothing more than my mother. That's who you are. And I know you're a whole adult person now, but you were a baby too. It's so cute. It's so cute. I'm fucking sentimental. I know. I'm very sentimental. We can get back to the cards. Thank you for lurking. I appreciate you all being here. I do have fun, and I do. I gotta say, I do a decent job talking to myself. You know, I love when people come on here and chat with me. So if you are feeling like you want to add anything or say anything, feel free to. I don't need to preach all the time, but I can. So, I also like, we have 15 minutes until I need to play the ads again. So if you're not a streamer, I like to just be transparent about the situation with the ads. And that is, once you are monetized on Twitch, you have to play ads. And they give you the option, if you play a 1-minute ad, you get 20 minutes of uninterrupted streaming. If you play 3 minutes of ads, you get an uninterrupted hour of streaming. If you choose not to play the ads, they auto roll. And I don't like the auto roll, because then the stream gets interrupted and I don't know when the ads play. And then I'm just getting cut off in you're missing something. And I just don't think that's very cool. So I try to just stay on top of the ads myself. I just think that's the best way to do it. And then everybody gets a break with the 3 minute ads. Because with 1 minute, you just sit there and watch the ads. But 3 minutes, you can get up, you can refill your water, you can get a little snack, go to the bathroom, you can do what you gotta do. Stretch a little bit, you know? So I like to do the 3 minute ads. And then you don't have to play ads every 20 minutes. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Much rather have time to go do something, come back, and not have to be interrupted for an hour. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Right? Right? So I know ads are annoying, and I know Twitch has the option of going ad free now. But like I said, I like to be transparent about that. I do think that my subscribers don't have to watch ads, but even though it benefits me, I will be honest. Way so you're not missing anything. You know? So um I was saying all that because I'm trying to let you know we have 12 minutes until I have to roll the ads again. So I think I'm gonna roll them now because we're about to start the Halloween Oracle reading. And I don't want to have to be interrupted during the reading or miss the window of playing the ads. So I'm just gonna do it now, 10 minutes early. So 3 minutes, and then we will reconvene and we'll crack into this. So the Halloween Oracle I do use for channel messages with the deceased. I'm a medium. I actually didn't do it for a long time. Months, maybe even a year. Maybe like one here and there. Even when I would stream, I wasn't doing the medium readings. I wasn't sure. Oh, hey, Dom. I didn't even notice. I don't know when you sent that. I'm so sorry. Because the stream elements message is blue and then you're blue. So out of the corner of my eye, I just assumed it was. Maybe you just sent it. I don't. Oh, okay. I guess I'm a little more observant than I give myself credit for. So, I wasn't sure. I think I was talking about this the other night. I wasn't really sure if it was just like pure insanity that I was experiencing when talking to dead people. But it's consistently accurate, consistently get good reads off people. So there's got to be something to it more than just mental, you know? Yeah. So I just noticed like a big glittery spider over there. It's not real. It's not real. Anyway, the Halloween Oracle is what I use for my channel messages. And what's the way you see it? There's more to it? Or I'm a mental patient? Yeah. Yeah. I think it's much better for me to not be open, you know, like free range. Yeah, and I would never ever claim that. That's why when I'm doing readings, I try not to tell people anything, but rather give them a lot of options for things. You know what I mean? Like it could be this, or I'm sensing that it might be that, you know? And with the channeled messages, even more so, where I'm like, I'm not really sure why, but I'm hearing this, I'm getting this description, you know. Um, yeah, like I did one the other day when I was at work, and she said she wanted to talk to her grandma. And I was like, I'm seeing, what, did you have two grandmas that passed away and one of her grandmas is still alive? I was like, I'm seeing two very different women, and I described them and gave them kind of like a vibe. Like one's very sweet and you know, classic old lady grandma vibes. The other one's very stern and very, you know, whatever. And she was like, well, you know, my grandma was like that with me. She was a sweet old lady, but with my mom, she was very strict, very stern, you know. So it's things like that where it's like, okay, I maybe initially thought there was two different people, but then you can interpret it in your own way, and it's actually two sides of the same person, right? So I agree, it's not infallible. And that too. And that's the thing is, in that reading, I I picked up on her grandma's husband that passed away. And I was like, yeah, there was a lot of love there actually. And she's like, she told me she did it for money. Like, what the fuck? And I'm like, you know, sometimes in death, we learn a lot, straight up. And even though he had died before her, I said, he supported her through her process of dying. And I was trying to tell this woman, like, sometimes when we're on the edge, we can see things, we hear things, and but we have no way of knowing that or proving that. And I, you know, that's what I was telling her. Is like, there's no way to really know, but that's what I'm getting. And I like to always add that in when I'm doing that type of reading, is like, that's what I'm getting. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm feeling, you know? I did another one at work. I've done a few, but there was one. I was like describing the person she wanted to talk to. And I was like, yeah, I'm seeing that he always wore a white t shirt. He wore a white t shirt like all the time. And somehow there was never any stains on it. And she said it was the opposite. He always had stains. And I said, that is not how he wants to be remembered, you know? Because that's the other thing, is like, when you're in that position, like, people want to present them their best selves, right? And they want to, like, kind of be remembered in a certain way. Just like that man wanted to be remembered as a loving husband, this other man wanted to be remembered as neat and clean, even though that's not who they really were. So it's funny because you can't, again, you can't prove it. It's like, you know, obviously, there's something accurate about these readings, because I can still physically describe them, you know, get names, stuff like that. But the white t shirt guy, um, I had said he wishes he got you more flowers. And she said, he got me flowers all the time. I'm like, yeah, he wishes he got you more flowers. You know what I mean? Like, as much as it's up to my interpretation, it is very interesting what they will present, right? Like, I don't know, he was almost like critical of himself, to be like, oh, I should have done more. And she felt like he did so much. So it's just interesting. And it's not a perfect science. It's maybe not science at all. But, I enjoy it. I do enjoy it. Anyway, I guess we didn't have to roll the ads early. We're just letting the fucking timer count down. Because Lord, can I talk? It's so funny because lately, not lately, it's been a while. The past maybe year and a half. I feel like I'm not as talkative, I'm not as open, I'm not as friendly. But then when I jump on stream, I still have those qualities of being very open and being able to talk and being friendly, right? And it's just like making me realize that I'm maybe not being fulfilled necessarily by some of the people that I'm surrounded by, which is sad because I would never blame anyone. And I do have times where I get a little more extroverted and outgoing, but I've always been a very social person. I'm an antisocial extrovert, is how I like to describe it, because sometimes I don't want to talk at the function, and sometimes I do find a corner to keep myself occupied, but I do feel like I get charged up from people. A lot of people get their batteries drained from people, but mine definitely charges. And I will, you know, when it is a crowd of people I like, I'll be very social. I'll be the last one to leave the function. And there was one. Hello? Okay. I came home and was like, who can I call? Who can I talk to? Who can I hang out with right now? 3 parties in 2 days. Big ones, too. 50 people, 20 people. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot. But for me, I was ready to keep going. So I'm definitely someone who gets like energized from being around people. Um, I have like no limit on my social battery, you know? So it is sad that I kind of get that introvertedness and that quietness and like don't feel like I can open up and be myself lately. Because I feel like I'm doing a fine job of it on stream. And maybe there's like less pressure because it's not in person and like I don't know you guys really. I mean, I've known some of you for years, but only in the context of the internet. So maybe it's just easier to do because it feels like lower stakes. Who are you? Oh my god. No. Stop. Do you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend? I don't even know who you are. I don't recognize your name at all. Oh my god, Cypher, chill. Cypher, chill in the chat. Should I know who you are? I don't recognize your name. Hi. I also thought that you can only chat if you follow me, and like I said, I don't recognize your name at all. Okay, now we ran out of time and I have to roll the ads. So, we'll be right back. Oh, Dom, I don't know if you're still here, but I made my BRB screen. So, BRB. And we're back. This is really weird. I just looked over and found the inside of a pen. I have no idea where it came from. Oh, it may have knocked it off when I picked it up. The picture of the wings. I don't know where this came from. I just found it. So maybe this should be your sign to write. And actually, I started using the Finch app about a month ago. Highly recommend it. It's so much fun. It's so cute. I really like it. It helps me stay on track with my days. And one of the things on my list is to write poems. And I didn't do it today, so I might have to do that before bed. Because I found a pen. So this is a reminder to all of you to write that shit down. Write it down. I really don't know where that came from. I don't even know if it works. I don't know why I have it, to be honest. Let's see if it works. I don't know if it'll write on this, but it's like a disposable mask. I don't even know I have this either. Oh, it does work. I mean, there's plenty of ink in it, but tested it anyway. Should probably just throw this out. Yeah, so anyway, y'all want to do the cards or what? Oh, so we got into the channeled messages aspect of the deck, but my point actually audio. I also use it for. Hey Morph, how you doing? Um, um, we used to just like pick random celebs and stuff to talk to, but I don't know. It just sounds exhausting right now. So I also use this deck for shadow readings, looking at your dark side, dealing with the shadow. Oh, thank you. Hi. Always appreciate the lurkers. It makes me feel like I'm not just talking to myself, even when they don't talk back. But, yeah, so this wasn't really intended to be like a channeled message night, because it's so late. So it's just more going to be the shadow and kind of analyzing the self and seeing what we need to work on and things like that. So without further ado, the Halloween Oracle. Okay. I feel like I'm holding it upside down. We don't have too many cards out, but I don't know how long I'll shuffle. This doesn't need to be a super long reading, but it probably will be. Okay, not super long, but I got quite a few cards now after I said, not too many. It always is, huh? Okay, we're going to stop here because I flipped this while I was shuffling, but it didn't come out of the deck. So, a little bit about me as a reader. I don't really do spreads. There was a time where I would kind of like choose a spread to do a classic like pyramid. I would do circles. I would do like year ahead. I have done spreads. I don't follow a specific pattern when I do spreads, but most of the time I don't do spreads. And I just feel like it kind of makes a more genuine reading. You don't really need them. I'm more of a storyteller type than like a this is this and this is that, because the spreads have different positions. You know what I'm saying? Like with the classic Celtic spread, it's like this is the future, this is the past, this is the present, whatever it is. I don't do that. So, if it's in the upright, it is what it is. If it's in the reverse, it's the opposite. I feel like you're not really supposed to do that with oracle cards, but again, that's just who I am. That's just how I read. If cards fall off the table, oh, hello. If the cards are on the side, it's kind of an indifference, undecided. So let's get into it. Top of the deck, we have the Mummy, change. Bottom of the deck, we have death. The eternal cycle begins here. Yeah. So what's interesting about that is there is the inevitable, right? There needs to be change. There needs to be effort. There needs to be, I don't want to say a breakage, but it's kind of like no matter where you're starting from or what you're looking at, this change is unavoidable. You know, you have to accept the ending or the new beginning, whatever the case is. So, first up, we have apple, risk and reward. You will never know how it tastes until you take a bite. So, the sleepiness is really hitting me, man. I'm not usually up super late anymore. I'm not nocturnal. I was talking about this the other night. Yeah, so you gotta take a chance, right? Take a chance, take a chance, take a chance, take a chance. If you change your mind, I'm the first in line. Honey, I'm still free. Take a chance on me. If you need me, let me know, 'cause I'll be around. If you got no place to go when you're feeling down. Little Ava. Next we have spider, community, and web weaving. It's time to reconnect with people. It's time to get involved. It's time to be about it. Community is very important, and isolation is very bad. It's not part of the human condition. You know what I mean? So you need to connect. Skull of Darkness, blind spots. Can't say you didn't see it coming. You can't say you didn't see it coming. Forgiveness, reducing burden. I know it's kind of like a common belief or thing to say that forgiveness is for us, it's for yourself. But I like to kind of explain to people, like, if you feel you are worthy of forgiveness, then you need to be able to forgive other people. If you want to be forgiven, you have to forgive. We got eternal love. Love is love is love, and it transcends physical death. So never regret putting your love into something or someone. It'll always come back to you. It'll always be with you. It will never leave you. Love is permanent. Even if a situation or a relationship or, the love between two people doesn't always exist, the love does. It's like energy. It can only be transmuted, not destroyed. Werewolf, exploring wildness. You need to let go and let loose. You do. You need to kind of, I don't want to say get wild, even though that's what the card said. It's just like you have to cut up a little bit. You gotta relax and get into it. We have hearth, happiness in our hearts and homes. So it's time to look at your living situation and address it and recognize that it isn't perfect, but it's not the worst thing in the world. You know, it is what it is at this point. We got the lamp, remembrance. There are people who have passed on that want you to honor them in some way, whether it's taking flowers to a grave or lighting a candle for them, or, you know, whatever your own practice is, saying a prayer. There is someone who feels a little neglected at this time, despite the fact that you might still think about them and you might miss them. They want a connection to you. We have vampire, emotional intelligence. So, not everyone is bad and not everyone's out to get you. Not everyone is the soul-sucking evil person that you think they are. They're just not. Some people don't have bad intentions, but it comes off that way. So this is like a reminder to be a little more accepting of what is instead of assuming what you think. Dawn, the light after the darkness. We're not quite there yet. You're not really through the shit yet. The situation is improving, but it's still improving. It's still the process. Like, you're still going through it, and you're still kind of needing to continue to work it out. Future cards, this disconnect that you have, like I said, with the person in your life or whoever it is, you're just feeling like blah a little bit longer. You're not going to have like an overnight realization and suddenly change your mind about things or suddenly get better. It's going to take time. If you're feeling really bad right now, you're not going to feel bad soon, but you're not going to feel good yet either. We have Jack-o'-lantern, protection. So you don't feel completely vulnerable, but you don't feel completely guided. You don't feel like again, you need to connect with those people who have passed on and like revere them, pray for them, ask for their help, you know? Skull of Flowers, creating through the ashes. You have to let the ashes come to pass before you can create with them. You have to kind of accept the fact that something is missing or has been destroyed in order for you to transmute that energy and do what needs to be done about it. Barmbrack, sweetness and synergy. So at this point, or I'm sorry, these are the future cards. So we started the reading with community, and we're looking into the future, and we're seeing that lack still. You're putting in the effort, you're getting yourself out there, but you're not making very deep connections. So that's something that still needs to be worked on. It's something that you still need to get better at. And you need to be able to work with people and allow yourself to be supported while also being supportive. And ancestors, the love and legacy of our DNA, kind of circling back to that whole idea of people wanting you to reach out to them in the great beyond. and connect with them and be with them more than you are now. You know? So, yeah, persistent problem. They're there, but you're not there. You know what I mean? Spider again. I like to shuffle the cards before I put them away, but if something falls out, I'm going to read it. So we got community and while weaving again. Huge emphasis on that. Finding your people, finding your niche, finding, things to do outside the home, right? And then future, winter, the sacredness of pausing. When we say future, we could mean something as soon as winter. So there might be a big pivotal change this winter. You might need to actually take a break by the time winter comes. So I'm going to go ahead and recommend a nice tropical vacation, somewhere warm in the midst of winter, unless you live in a hot climate, maybe somewhere cold, I don't know. Yeah. Okay. So, I think that's going to be it for me. Thank you all for joining. Like I was saying earlier, I am going to try to do like an early stream tomorrow, like I did today. Hopefully a little earlier than I started my first stream. I definitely won't be doing a late night stream tomorrow. Will not be doing a late night stream the day after. Might come back and do a late night stream Friday. But I'm going to try to fit in a day stream tomorrow, and then I won't be streaming Thursday. And then, like I said, try to fit in a late night Friday. I have to work and have plans after work, and we'll be gone before work. So, full day. Thank you. I love you. So yeah, that's gonna be it. I'm fucking tired. I'm gonna go to bed. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for lurking. Thank you for chatting. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting me and my channel. Consider giving me a follow if you haven't already, and perhaps subscribe if you already follow. I am gonna try to. Thank you. It might be an evening stream, but yeah, it'll definitely be earlier than this. I'm gonna try to start streaming semi-regularly. I'm probably not gonna get back to like streaming every day, but hopefully at least once a week. Yeah, thank you for the same. So something to consider. I will be back most likely tomorrow. So good night, sweet dreams, or good morning. Have a great day. I love you all very much. And remember to be kind to yourself. Happy Pride, peace with LA, and free Palestine. Amen. Good night and good luck.